Kudos to Namibia. Mama, you are doing great. Breaking news. Namibia issue a new policy effective immediately. All visitors, including USA citizens, are now required to apply for visa prior to entering into Namibia. Thumb up. So prior to now, what used to happen, a lot of African countries, you just don't need visa to get into the country. But this woman realized that Namibians will need visa to get into the US. Get visa, you need visa to get into other country. But a lot of countries don't need visa to come to Namibia and other part of Africa. Mama is serious. So he stopped all those. If you want to come to Namibia, whether you are from the great USA or Britain, you need to apply for a visa. Not just that, she didn't just stop there. She didn't just stop there. You see, this new rule to apply for a visa prior to entering into Namibia, this new rule is part of Namibia's sovereignty and national security measure. You see, we are independent. We are independent. She said, we are independent. We have our own country. We own our country. So before you come into this country, we are going to put security measures the same way. We are checked. We are all kinds of things need to go on in your life before you get into the United States and other part of the world. The same thing has to apply to Namibia. It said visitors must show proof of purpose. Oh, this one just entered me. I feel this one. It said, why? You must show proof of purpose. You know, a lot of people got into African countries. The continent of Africa is so loose that people can easily use all kinds of stuff just to get into the continent. And before you know, there's begin to spy on Africa and begin to mess up a lot of things. He said, you must show proof of purpose. You must show proof of purpose. Namibia is not just a dumping ground, dumping refuge where you're going to do whatever you want. We don't want that anymore. And then he went further to say, this is the most important one. He said, you have to show your financial capacity during the application. Show your financial capacity. So all these things were not there before. But Mama said, we need to fix Namibia. And then went further to also ban the mining of their resources. Namibia resources is for Namibians. We don't want foreigners to come mining this place. So these are the kind of things that we need in Africa. Let me say this thing to us in Africa. You know, history makers look crazy at first. All history makers, they look crazy at first. When you dream big, people will call you crazy. The West will call you crazy. Outsiders will call you crazy. When you dare, they call you unrealistic. Because they have never done it before, they don't imagine that you can do it. They say it's unrealistic. But when you win, they call you genius. When you win, so the first name is going to be called, you're crazy, you're out of your mind. There's going to be attack is normal. People are going to criticize you. You're going to be in the midst of so many chaos and situations, just like Burkina Faso is going through right now. Mali is going through, Nigeria is going through. This is what people who make history go through. It cannot be quiet. If your ideas are crazy, you are going to see crazy things happening around you all over the place. It's normal. Africa, we must get used to that craziness all over the world. We must get used to that craziness. Don't let small mind kill your vision. Don't let small mind kill your vision. So this is what we must do in Africa as Africans, okay? Africa must stop operating with a reactionary mindset. We must, because a lot of things are going to happen that is going to put us on a reaction mode. We must stop operating on a reactionary mindset and begin to set our own agendas. And then the next one, we must start start educating our youths, not just with degree, but with purpose, with patriotism, and with productivity. When we go on this path, you're going to see that Africa is going to be transformed. Namibia, congratulations. Burkina Faso, congratulations. Mali, congratulations. Senegal, congratulations. I don't know what this Equatorial Guinea president is doing, but I'm going to come back to him. We're going to learn something from that. So it's time for us to empower bold leaders, those who have crazy ideas and they are able to stand on that idea. It is time for Africa to build Africa. It is time for us to function not on reactional basis. It is time for us to function based on our own agenda. Again, Namibia, Mama, NN, I salute you. If you need any support, I'm available. If you need to train youth, development, all kinds of things, reach out. I will be able to lend my support to whatever is going to promote Namibia. Burkina Faso, likewise. Mali, likewise. It's time for us to train our youths, the younger generation, to build the next future. No offense, Africa must be built. If you like this message, share, follow, subscribe, leave me your opinion. I want to know what's going on in your country. How is your president doing? Leave me a comment in the comment section and we'll take it to another level. Remember, when you dream big, people will call you crazy. It is normal to be called crazy. We got to go crazy. Everybody is crazy. We have to be crazy. And that is what we need to do right now. God bless you. I love Africa.
Breaking news. Africans, congratulations to the President of Namibia. All Africans should hear this. The President of Namibia, Netumbo Nandi, has gone ahead and issued a new policy to all visitors, foreign visitors visiting her country. He has gone ahead and said you have to apply for a visa for you to enter into Namibia, because she has come to realize that most of the countries like USA, UK, Britain, you have to apply for a visa for you to get into there. And she has gone ahead and said, why not we as African impose that policy? She has said, from now onwards, you have to apply for a visa for you to get into Namibia. And she has gone ahead and said, you have to show your purpose proof of visit. And also, this is most important, the financial capability in your application should also be shown. And lastly, she has gone ahead and banned USA from mining in Namibia. What a great move.
Now USA is begging Africa. They have seen the benefit of Africa being on their bedside. They are working on strategies on how to improve the relationship between USA and African countries. They are saying that they are going to provide things that Africa need, but not the things that they don't need. You all remember what Trump said, that he doesn't need Africa, that Africa is there. You all remember that name that he used. Now, they are begging African countries to stop working with Russia or China. Well, they removed all humanitarian aids from Africa, thinking that they are going to beg them kneel down so that they can get all the resources from Africa. But China took this opportunity to get deals from Africa to create good relationship between China and Africa. And now Africa trusts China more than USA, and USA is not happy about this. And this is why they are warning African countries, if you want good relationship with USA, you have to cut ties with China or Russia. They warned a lot of African leaders, especially Kenyan leader, that is William Ruto. He told him to stay away from China, but he said that is not possible because the relationship between Kenya and China, it goes all the way back to hundreds of years, and that is not possible.
Wow, I'm so proud of Mali right now. How did this guy flip this thing around? After sending France away, Mali regained position in gold. You know, remember during there is one guy that was so rich, so stickingly rich around the world, and it was becoming like, how did this guy become rich and this kingdom so rich and Mali was so rich? It's through gold. And suddenly when France took over and colonized Mali, they started paying them $1 billion per year. But right now, this current president This current president is doing amazingly well. You know, that is what happens when you take over your own resources, take control of your resources. Mali is estimated to be doing over $10 billion per month. I'm not too sure, 100% sure, how they are able to make that happen per month. Because if France was paying $1 billion per month, and now, after the takeover, they drove France away from Mali, and Mali is doing over $10 billion per month, that is a lot. That is a lot difference. You see, that's why we talk about human capacity development. You know, when you have the right brain in the office, when you have the right brain following leaders, and both the leadership and the followership and everything is going to start working well. Africans don't really need to leave Africa. Africans, they can go on vacation, they can go on some certain things and maybe important business deal around the world, but just to leave Africa because of poverty is an embarrassment, because we are so endowed with natural resources. So kudos to the president of Mali. This is what we're talking about. Keep turning things around, keep flipping things around. It's long overdue. We need to take care of things. I was listening to Botswana, going through documentaries about Botswana the other time, and I suddenly realized that Botswanians, okay? People from Botswana, you can hardly see them anywhere in the world. You can hardly see them. Why? Because their country resources belong to them. They take care of them. They take care of their students. They take care of every single person in that country. So if other African countries follow this path, you're going to see that Africa will become it will become a number one place, a go-to, not a departure, but a place that you see other people coming to, right? A landing place. So this is what we need to do. Kudos to President of Mali. I just want to drop this one right here, because when I heard the news, I went to read it and I saw it. I was like, this is a good news right here. Africa is number one in the world, and Mali regaining the top position in gold industry is something that we all must celebrate. What we must do right now is all the terrorists and all kinds of the insurgency around Mali, we have to work around this to make sure that Mali gets settled, so that, they can enjoy the fruit of their resources. Kudos to Mali, and kudos to President and everyone in support of Africa development. Kudos to everyone. God bless you.
What we watch is, the continent of Africa does not need to be militarized, let's put it that way. So we watch, that's what concerns us.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let Malcolm take off this. Go ahead, Malcolm.
Understand this type of man, you must understand that historically there were two types of slaves. The house Negro and the field Negro. Now the house Negro, he lived in the house next to his master, in the big house, either in the basement or up in the attic. He dressed pretty good, he ate pretty good, but the master left him. He loved his master. I say he loved his master better than the master loved himself. If the master said, we got a nice house here, you say, yeah, boss, we got a nice house here.
What we watch.
Master's house caught on fire, the house Negro would be the one who'd run to put the blaze out. If the master got sick, he said, what's the matter, boss? We sick?
So we watch.
Sick. You see, this is the thinking of the house Negro. Now, if another slave came up to him and said, let's run away, let's separate, let's get away from this cruel master, he said, why?
Just keep Burkina Faso's name out of your mouth. That's it. Leave Africa alone.
I think all Africans should hear this. Assimi Goïta, the president of Mali, has turned that country into a gold coast again. Mali used to be the richest country in the world, and it was led by a man known as Mansa Musa. And the gold in Mali was too much that the value of gold went down. And Assimi Goïta is doing that exactly. Let me tell you, since Assimi Goïta got into power, the president of Mali, and joined the Sahel states, that is Burkina Faso, Niger and Mali, the gold that they used to be paid by foreign miners a very small amount of money is now generating billions of dollars. And let me tell you, Assimi Goïta is not backing up. The country is now getting over $10 billion per month from the gold they used to get around $1 billion per year. The foreign countries are now getting into Mali and trying to convince them to return to continue mining the gold after they were expelled. And you know, these are the French miners. And Assimi Goïta is telling them, for a very long time, over 70 years, you lied to us that there were no gold in Mali and the value was very small. If you want to return to Mali, we have to calculate the amount of money that went into losses, and then you have to pay that amount.
There is a major breaking news coming out of France right now and Burkina Faso, and I'm telling you, this one is going to shock you. Currently, Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, is currently on his knees begging Captain Ibrahim Traoré, our unbeloved president. You know what? Emmanuel Macron is under a very heavy threat to step down as the president of France. Yes. Why? Because the ministers or the lawmakers in France is accusing him of opening the eyes of Africans, and that is why Africans are now fighting for their right and they're chasing France away from Africa. That is why they are threatening to remove Emmanuel Macron as their president, because Emmanuel Macron's tenure is going to expire in 2027. But let me tell you, they said he's not going to stay till 2027 for opening the eyes of Africans. So he sent a representative to Burkina Faso in order to go and beg Captain Ibrahim Traoré to allow them come back to Burkina Faso. Because if France should lose Burkina Faso, they are actually going to lose some other African countries one by one until they lose all the African countries that is under his control. Do you understand? So Emmanuel Macron is on a very hot seat now. He's on his knees crying and begging like a useless idiot that he is. Your boy, Social Thinker, is speaking. Share this video now to whom it is giving, since is expected. Anti-monopoly geographic catalysis.